So sitting up tall, whether on a blanket, a pillow, or maybe just on the heels. That is something great to work on in your yoga practice, is finding a comfortable seat, which we can use the props to make it comfortable, because a lot of the times it's not. But the whole idea behind the yoga poses is to open up our bodies so that we can sit in meditation. So that's really the reason why all these poses came to be. So the seated position is really an important one, whether you meditate or not. It's for the body. So cross leg or sitting on the heels, and I'm sitting up on a block covered with a blanket. So you can do that also with books, sturdy books. But blocks are always nice to have if you like yoga and you want to continue on in your yoga journey. Props are always good, a good thing to have. All right, sitting up tall wherever you are here, closing the eyes, just coming into our space, letting go of our morning, our to-do lists. You might feel a little foggy this morning from losing an hour. But when that kind of stuff comes up, just come back to this breath. So breath in and out of the nose if possible. Just by bringing that awareness to the breath, we tend to deepen the breath. Maybe you notice your breath starting to come into maybe the lower part of your lungs, or even the belly may start to rise a little bit. Let's just take about 5 more rounds of breath at your own pace. Just noticing, feeling, listening. And you may start to notice your nervous system soften a little bit, maybe. You may start to notice your shoulders kind of soften. Maybe just a little bit more relaxed here. And if that's not the case, that's perfectly fine too. And something to just take note of. All right, one more breath here. Let's go ahead and slowly open the eyes. Take a gentle twist on your next inhale. Take the arms out and up. Lengthen through the side body. And then exhale, twist to the right. Sitting up tall, but a nice and gentle twist. We don't have to go too deep into this here. Maybe the gaze comes back over the back shoulder. And then on your next inhale, come back to center. Reach up, look up, lengthen through the side. And exhale, twist to the left, sit up tall. Maybe gaze over that back shoulder. And the next inhale, come back to center, reach up, look up. And exhale, let's release, come forward. We're gonna come into down dog or child's pose if we're not feeling down dog. With down dog though, our hands are spread really wide. So spread those fingers nice and wide so that we have a great foundation there. And then we're creating an inverted V with the body. So lengthen through the spine, up through the sit bones. And then lengthen through the back of the legs. You may feel this in the hamstrings. If you do feel it in the back of the legs too much, you can always bend the knees a little bit, create some space. A couple more breaths. And then from down dog, we're gonna lift the right leg up and we're gonna come right into a lunge. So lift that right leg up, inhale. And exhale, step it forward in between the hands. Drop the back knee down. We're gonna lift up onto the fingertips here and lift the heart. So trying to take the chest off of this front thigh a little bit, or we bring our hands up on top of the thigh. And the idea here is we're sinking our hips forward. So getting into our hip flexor, the front of the hip, but lift the heart wherever you are. Lengthen through the spine, inhale. And exhale, release the hands, step back, down dog. Other side, left leg lifts, inhale. Exhale, step the foot forward in between the hands, drop the back knee down. So we're sinking the hips forward. This is a little different than like a crescent lunge or low lunge. We're sinking the hips forward. Come up onto the fingertips or hands to the top of the thigh. Lift the heart, inhale, lengthen. Exhale, sink those hips forward. One more breath here. This can be a lot. And release. Take the hands down, step back into down dog. One more time on each side. Right leg lifts, inhale. Exhale, step the foot forward in between the hands. This time we're gonna come up. So come up on hands on top of the thigh, or, so sink those hips forward, or we lift the arms overhead, creating a little bit of a back bend. So our heart lifts, gaze lift up. Couple breaths. Lengthen through the spine as you lift up and back. And release. Take those hands down, step back, down dog. Other side, left leg lifts, inhale. Exhale, step the foot forward in between the hands, drop the back knee down, sink the hips forward. Hands can be on top of the thigh here, or reach those arms up, palms face each other. Really getting in the front of the hip here, also along the front of the body on that right side. One more breath as you lift the heart up, inhale. Lengthen through the arms. Exhale, release the hands, step back into down dog. Couple breaths there. Those front hip stretches can be a little intense, but so good. Especially if you sit a lot. If you're sitting a lot driving or at a desk. All right, let's go ahead and gaze forward. Walk the feet forward. Ragdoll, so feet apart, hips width. Bend the knees, come into that forward fold. Where the head releases, shoulders release. You shake out the head, yes, no. And then bend the knees a lot, and we'll start to roll up one vertebra at a time. Let the head and neck be the last to come up. Roll the shoulders up and back a few times in standing. All right, we're gonna come right into balance here. So first starting with just the basic tree pose. When our mind's foggy, it's nice to just take it back to the basics. So tree pose, right foot comes into the inside of the ankle, calf, or thigh. Feel free to hold on to something here. Otherwise, hands together in front of the heart. Sitting up tall, or extending through the spine rather, and grounding down through the foot. All right, you can stay here, start to extend the arms overhead, maybe arms come wide. If we want a little challenge, you can lift the gaze up, or maybe close one eye, or both eyes. And wobbly is okay. Just breathe into it, come back to it if we fall out. One more breath wherever you are. And release. Take those hands together in front of the heart. Or take the right knee forward. I'm going to turn here. Right knee forward and then right foot back. Dancers. So we can grab to the inside of the foot or outside of the foot. Left arm extends up. And this might be enough. Balancing or holding on to something might be enough. Focusing on the balance here. Or we start to lift that right thigh up, 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 up. And press the foot into the hands as we reach that left arm forward. Try to keep the hips square. Couple breaths. 3, 2, 1 more breath. Maybe come a little higher. And release, shake it out. Woo. That standing leg, shake that out a bit. And then we'll transition to the other side. Tree pose, set it up, left foot down, or other way, right foot down, left foot in. Find your balance. Above or below the knee. We don't want to press into the knee at all, the knee joint. And then maybe add the arms in whichever way you like. You could even take the hands behind the back and release the fingers. You may be challenged by playing with the gaze, lifting the gaze up. Or maybe going for it, closing both eyes, see what happens. Might fall out, it's fine, come back in. Couple more breaths. Beautiful, wobbly today. And release, we take that left knee forward, transitioning into dancers. Foot comes back, reach to the inside or outside. Right arm reaches up. And this might be enough, just bringing the knees together here. Or we start to lift that back knee up, up, up. Foot into the hand press. Find your balance. Few breaths here. How are we doing? Nice. Beautiful, Alyssa. Listen in to your body today, huh? All right, one more breath. Beautiful, Kristen's crew. I love it. All right. And release. Shake it out. Nice work. All right, so peace and power, we do a little bit, or we're gonna start peace here soon, but let's flow a little bit. Come to the top of the mat. Take the arms out and up, inhale. Exhale, forward fold. So just through a sun salutation here, halfway lift, inhale, spine long. Exhale, plant the hands, step back into plank, inhale. Exhale, lower to the belly or hover. Up dog or cobra, chest lifts, shoulders down. Exhale, take it back, down dog. And then release to the knees. We're gonna come into falling star. So we're on our knees. The right leg extends out, toes point forward. All right, it's gonna be engagement of the obliques. I can't keep away from the obliques this week. All right, we're taking that left hand down. Reach the right arm over, just stretch. It can be a nice side body stretch. And we're gonna use the obliques, the core to lift up here. Lift up and over the other way. So just back and forth at your own pace here. Keep the arms nice and extended. Back and forth. It may feel good to hang out in that side stretch for an extra breath. A few more rounds. So a couple more minutes of power here and we'll start to slow it down. Holding stretches for longer, more begin practice. All right, let's go ahead and release other side. Take that right knee in, left leg out. Set it up. And side to side, reach up and over. Really engage the core during the transition here. Transition from side to side. And as for the transition, losing an hour's sleep today, just being easier on ourselves today. For me, I have a toddler, so lack of sleep is very familiar. So I'm actually doing a lot better than I thought I would. Like, oh, we do this a lot. All right, one more on each side. And release, take that knee in. Let's just come into child's pose or puppy pose. So walking the hands forward, sit bones towards the heels or sit bones lifted, and just reach the heart towards the floor, the forehead towards the floor. Or we can stack the hands, create a little pillow for the forehead. And just rest here, about 5 breaths. We'll start to slow it down coming into the peace portion of our practice. Nice deep breaths here. Just slowing down the heart. This transition can be a little much too, from power to peace. But we're just going to breathe through here. Nice and full breaths in and out. As we come into more of a stillness practice, just being aware of what thoughts arise, how we talk to ourselves, where our mind goes. Just noticing without that judgment, without expectation. Just noticing what comes up in stillness. Actually, a few more breaths here. And then come on up. I'm gonna swing around. Swing around, take the legs forward. I'm gonna do a couple stretches for that sciatica. We want to say it wrong. Sciatica, sciatica. This is for you, Alyssa, our pregnant mama. All right, we're gonna take the right knee into the chest. You can place the foot to the inside of the thigh or outside, and we'll sit up tall. And for the pregnant mamas, you can make this an open twist. So we're gonna twist over to the left. If you're not pregnant, sit up tall, and we'll close the twist by twisting to the left. That makes sense. So you can wrap your arm around the knee, sit up tall, and then twist. Maybe take the gaze over the back shoulder. Couple more breaths here. And we're gonna add on a little bit, come back to center. Half Gomukhasana, half cow face pose. So this right foot comes back, and we're working on stacking the knees one on top of the other, or we take our ankle above or on top of the thigh if that's not happening, or if it's too much on the hips. Sit up tall, and then we round forward. You can stack the fists, maybe create a little pillow. Just round forward, let go forward. You don't need to extend and reach too much here, just releasing into the stretch. Nice. Soften the face as best you can here. And notice your breath. All right, and on your next inhale, come on up. We'll unravel the legs. Extend the leg out in front of you. Just shake it out, wiggle. We'll take that to the other side. So start to bend that left knee into the chest. Keep the foot to the inside of the thigh or outside. Sit up tall, inhale. And exhale, twist to the left, or we can twist to the right here. Making space for our belly. Even if you're not pregnant, you might need that extra space there just to make it a little more comfortable. All right, few breaths in this twist. Nice and easy. We're not going too deep. Maybe the gaze comes back. So with sciatica, we want to try to just create a little space around the hips. Open up, stretch. All right, and release this twist. And then set up for our half Gomukhasana. Ankle crosses just above the knee, or we take that ankle back closer to the opposite hip. And then maybe we're just here sitting, or we start to round forward a little bit. Stack fists for the forehead. Extra bonus hamstring stretch here as well. As you come forward, you may feel that. If it's too much of a hamstring stretch, we can always bring a blanket underneath that knee. Just take it out of the hamstring a little bit. Nice rounding forward, release the head, the face, the jaw. In this stillness, notice the thoughts. And notice that monkey mind, but also notice the content there. Emmett's trying to get in. He said, yeah. Yeah. Notice where those thoughts do go. Past, future. Mine usually goes to my next meal, when and what we're gonna eat. And no judgment around that though. We come back to the breath each time we notice and realize. One more breath here. And we'll slowly start to roll up on your next inhale. Unravel the legs, shake them out, wiggle them out. And we'll make our way to our backs and finish up here, a little bit more hip love. So figure four pose, cross that right ankle above the left knee, and then you can keep the left foot on the floor or hug the left knee into the chest. Both feet flexed. And then from here, so our right ankle is crossed, and we're gonna take that right foot over to the left. So still figure four legs. We're gonna take that right foot over to the left, but keep the knee up, that right knee up. So we'll get into the around the hip a little bit in a different way here, the hip flexor maybe, and then reach back through that right arm. Maybe hold on with the left hand to the right ankle. I know that was a lot, but we're just figure 4, and then take that right foot over to the left. Yeah. Emmett says yeah. And he's giggling. Make sure we're grounding down as much as we can through that right shoulder so that our heart is open. We're just kind of focusing on this hip area. A couple more breaths. And then on your next inhale, we'll come back to center and switch the legs, figure 4 on the other side. So cross that left ankle, breathe into that stretch a few breaths. And also feel free to stay here in this pose, this stretch. Otherwise, we're gonna move on here. Left foot comes all the way over to the right. Keep the left knee up, and hold on to the ankle there, and then left arm reaches back. And towards the left, both shoulders down. Beautiful. Take a few more breaths here. And some days it just feels good to lay on the floor. Even if you don't stretch, it just kind of feels good to take that back flat on the floor. Any of these hip stretches, if you only have a few minutes. We'll just take a couple more breaths here with this one. Notice your breath. And then on your next inhale, slowly start to take it back to center. We'll unravel the legs, hug the knees into the chest, rock a little side to side. Just giving our lower back a little massage. You can also take these knees into some circles, small circles, big circles. Rotating the other way. Hug those knees into center, forehead towards the knees. Wrap the arms around the shins. Just give yourself a hug. Or your knees can be wide here as well. On either side of that belly. And release into Shavasana. Find relaxation. Extend the legs, extend the arms. Palms face up. Close the eyes. Find our stillness here. Letting out a couple deep breaths and then not forcing the breath, just letting the breath be. But to settle in, you might take a couple breaths just to get there. A couple deep breaths. And then be still. Relax the body as best you can. Letting the back of the head be heavy and the floor, the shoulders, the pelvis, the legs, the heels, the back of the hands, the arms. Sink into the floor, into the earth. I'm gonna go ahead and leave you here today. Stay here as long as you can in stillness. Have a wonderful day. And the teacher and student in me honors and sees the teacher and student in each of you. Namaste.